Good morning, everybody. In today's session, in the subject Business Research Methods, we are in the first chapter, Introduction, and today's session subtopic would be the steps in research and the significance of research. Doing a small recap, we have studied what research is. Research is the art of scientific investigation done to establish or confirm proven facts, reaffirm the results of previous work, find new solutions to existing or hypothetical or contingent problems, build new theories, etc. So, business research is basically the scientific and systematic investigative inquiry into information to aid or help take business decisions and to improve business dealings and attain objectives. Now, we are going to the next step. What are the steps in research? So, in steps in research, first and foremost, we come to the formulation of the research problem. A research problem is a statement regarding an area of concern, a weakness that has to be eliminated, a situation that can be improved, a problem that demands a solution, or a question that needs an answer. Every research must have a problem. If there are no problems, there can be no research. So, in a business organizations, you can have any problem, like a problem regarding ways or methods of how to improve your revenue, how to increase the quality of products, how to increase the performance of employees. So, any specific area in an organization can be chosen as a specific problem and research can be done on that so that you can improve or come out with better, more effective methods of attaining your objectives. In general terms, the goal or formulating a research problem is to convert a broad or a general topic into a specific one. When a person wants to do research on a topic, he has many general topics. General topics usually refer to subjects. In all this, a researcher must choose and find out a specific topic which he feels that research can be done and some improvement, some solution or some answer can be brought about to improve that situation. The absence of problems signifies the absence of the need for research. Now, how does a person get into recognizing a research problem? To understand or to identify the area of research or to formulate your research problem, you have to have your own personal inclination, you have to go in for discussions, you have to consult with people, and very important, you have to go in for review of literature. So, literature review is done to study the strength and weakness of a given topic. You are studying the theory, the already conducted research, and you are going to find out and expose the gaps in the study or the body of knowledge and thereby substantiate or justify the need for research in that specific area. So, research gaps must be identified. So, research gaps are identified when you go in for review of literature. The third step in formulating or in the process in research is developing the hypothesis. So, a hypothesis is basically any assumption or a presumption about relations between variables. It is a tentative explanation of the research problem and a guess about the research outcome. This statement is intended to be tested empirically and is either verified and accepted or rejected. If the statement is not sufficiently established, it is not considered a scientific law. All hypotheses, if they are scientifically accepted, if they are tested and proved, they become laws and theories come out of these studies. So, building up of hypotheses is the next step. Whenever hypotheses are being built, there are certain basic criteria which must be followed. One would be, a hypothesis must be empirically testable. That is, you must, with a body of knowledge, with certain information analyzed, you must be able to prove whether your hypothesis is right or wrong. Second, all hypotheses must be specific and precise. The statements in a hypothesis must not be contradictory. Hypotheses basically, they specify the relationship between variables and this must be established clearly. So, a hypothesis must be formulated and developed. Next, you are preparing the research design. So, a research design is basically a blueprint. It is the framework or the guidelines within which you are going to conduct your research. So, beforehand, preemptive, you are preparing the methodology, the step-by-step procedures of how you are going to collect your data. What are the methods you are going to use to collect your data? What is your what are your statistical analysis techniques? How are you going to prove your hypothesis? And what are your results? And how are you going to prove it? So, all this would be in your research design. So, research design basically, it helps a researcher to cut down cost, save time, be on track. It can control and direct the process of research and it basically avoids duplication. Next, we have the determination of a sample design. So, this is another very important area in your process of research. A sample is a part of the whole universe or population. The sample size basically and the sample design basically decides the reliability of your research inferences. Sample must reflect all features of your universe. It must be homogeneous. Next, we have data collection. So, data can be primary or secondary and it must be collected. After collecting of data, you are going to analyze the data using statistical techniques to draw inferences and build up your results. So, when you have data analysis, you are going to test it and you are going to test your hypothesis. Now, if you have a hypothesis in your research and if the hypothesis is positive, we call it as generalizations. So, generalizations is when you have used a hypothesis testing to prove your findings. Generalizations give rise to laws. They give rise to scientific laws, and theories can be built on these laws. For example, all motivational theories, the theory of gravity, these are the law of demand, these are all generalizations. Interpretations are those research studies where there is no hypothesis being used. Instead, based on your data analysis and testing, you are going to come out with certain findings and recommendations. Interpretations give rise to, any study with interpretations and findings can give rise to further research. The last step is report preparation and presentation of results. The researcher has to prepare the report, and the writing of the report must be as per the writing of the report must be done with great care. So you have certain layouts. Here you are having the preliminary page, the main text of the report, and the conclusion. So at the end of the report you are having your bibliography and appendices and also your index. So a report should be done as per the requirement and submitted. So the research process according to Kothari is this. 1. You define your research problem. As we already discussed, research problem is any area where research is required. You have to review the literature. So you review concepts and theories where research has already been done and theories formulated. You review previous research findings and find out if there is a research gap. A research gap is an opportunity for a researcher to conduct research. He can also base his studies on and find out what are the research questions. Next, you have to formulate your hypotheses, do your research design, which is your blueprint or guidelines or framework. It is your methodology, step-by-step procedure of how you are going to conduct your research. Next, as per your research design, you are going to collect data. Using statistical tools, you are going to analyze your data and come out with certain findings. These findings are to be interpreted and reported as required. So you have certain feedbacks and certain feed forwards. So feed forward basically serves the function of providing certain criteria for evaluation, certain standards. Feedback helps in control. You know whether you have done right. So this is your research process. So in conclusion, we conclude that research is systematic and procedural investigation of facts. The significance of research basically is 1. You are building up a big knowledge base, and this knowledge base promotes learning and develops the mind. Research inculcates scientific reasoning and helps develop logical approach to thinking. Research gives information which helps government formulate its policies and manage the economic system. All information are analyzed and given to the government so that based on information which is scientific in nature, you can formulate policies. Research helps in solving various operational and planning problems of business and industry. So all business, especially in decision making and in operational management, a business needs research. Research provides techniques to help business succeed by maximizing the opportunities and minimizing weakness and threats. By clearly informing through research, a business will clearly know which is the best course of action, which is the best decision, so that objectives or results can be attained. Next, research is important for social scientists in studying social relationships and in getting solutions to various social problems. Things like gender equality, drug abuse, economic poverty alleviation. These are all social and economic problems, employment. So, how to improve it? From the above discussion, we can conclude that research is necessary and very important to all sectors. Thank you.